everybody. Right now we're starting for AI Film Talk. And then Ja is actually from LA. I met him in LA, but he's from Brooklyn. So let's hear from who is Ja and what AI art film he's making. So please introduce yourself.
Hello everyone, my name is Ja. I'm a filmmaker and visual artist. I've been exploring film, working on film for about 10 years. Once I got to Web3, which was in late 2020, I started working on 3D animations, and then up until last year in December, I started creating with AI tools, and I recently created a project which is behind me called Helmet City. And this is a trailer for Helmet City. It's a short film that's coming out in October, and it's about just this world where everyone wears helmets, and this particular chapter in that story, Mecha Gardens, is how and why that came to be.
That's really cool, thank you. I was really curious about, because you've been like pushing AI film, I feel like, for a while. So what is this? You briefly said everybody's wearing a helmet, and it's Helmet City, right?
Yeah.
What is this really Mecha Garden? What Mecha Garden, right?
Yeah.
So can you more explain about the story behind it? Who are they? Why are they wearing a helmet?
Yeah, so without giving too much away, because the film comes out in October.
October.
Yes, but in this story, Mecha Gardens is a district where the incident happens, why, and that incident tells the story of why everyone was helmets. So Mecha Gardens is the place within Helmet City where that happened. So it's a point of origin, and it explains why people wear helmets in that story, why that place is so important.
So we have to watch your film.
Yeah, you gotta watch it. I don't want to give it away. Yeah.
All right. So I'm really curious, since AI film is still really new for a lot of people, and I know that you do make AI art as well, right? So do you call yourself AI artist, or you call yourself artist or a filmmaker? I'm curious about that.
I call myself a filmmaker, filmmaker and visual artist. I think AI is a tool. It's another tool to add to the plethora of tools that I use. And I think this tool specifically is important because as an independent filmmaker, it's pretty challenging to create something like this on your own without.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, so utilizing this technology to bring those visions to life has been very beautiful. It's been a beautiful experience, but it's also, I think by doing this, I also want to present how AI can be used as a tool to do these things.
I see. I feel like you're one of those like really young, talented pioneer, and I'm very happy you joined to this exhibit at Uncommon Gallery. And this show is specifically curated for AI short film, right? And then you're one of them who actually got picked from all this open call from global artists, right? So when you see all these people are trying to make something with the new tools, right? How do you see yourself as an AI artist or a filmmaker in 3 years? What do you see as AI? What is this really AI art for you? You said it's a tool, but we would like to hear more.
Okay, yeah. Well, foundationally it's a tool, and then I think for me it's also, it's a gateway to new forms of expression. Really, that's probably the best way I can describe it. But yeah, it's another gateway to express. Again, like I've had visions like this for like a long time, and I've been trying to like figure out, working really hard to get it out there, and like just being able to, using AI, writing prompts, and then building on that, and even combining that with other skill sets. I edited this with Premiere Pro, and I learned how to edit it back in film school, and so yeah, it's just a new gateway of expression.
So you're using a lot of different kind of programs together, right?
Yeah.
So what was your challenging to make this film, or what did you learn? Just curious.
The most challenging part, because what I would do is I would take the initial images in Midjourney, and I wrote out prompts in Midjourney, and so built coming from the script that I wrote for this. So I wrote a script first, and then I would break down that script and then write prompts based on specific scenes, and then create that in Midjourney, and then add on to that in Runway. And it wouldn't necessarily get certain things because the technology is still new. So just trying to figure out how to creatively convey certain aspects of the story within those limitations. And that was like it was fun, but it was a challenge, yeah.
So I guess you learn a lot about pushing yourself.
Yeah, and even the technology, like especially like with Runway, like I learned like, oh, okay, it can't do this, but it can do this, and yeah, so.
It's really cool. I think your film is very, I feel like very special in a way that you utilizing sound really well too. And I believe you have a collaborator too. And then like, do you like to speak more about the sound and music aspect of it? How was the collaboration? You know, the sound is so professional and it made it really like flavor, adding more.
Yeah, thank you. I think that's a testament to the collaborators I work with. On this project, it was an artist, his name is Greg Newman, he's from LA, and he makes amazing music. And so music is a big part of my art.
Your gene?
Yeah, no, I love music. And so, sound is very important to me. And I asked Greg, and he was gracious enough to say that, like, yeah, you can use this specific song because this song spoke to the themes of what this story represented. It's a testament to all the collaborators. My partner, Natasha, that was my first collaborator. She's a phenomenal artist in Web3 and beyond. So, yeah.
Amazing. I feel like a lot of good work come out with a lot of good people, good collaboration. And then while we're doing collaborating, we learn a lot too, and then we're getting like better artists, right? So just curious that since you're pushing AI art film, I'm curious because you're using Premiere too, right? So have you really tried or maybe interact with a traditional filmmaker, and how do you see that traditional filmmaking and you're doing something different, like using even 3D, and then AI? So how do you see that, maybe like, would you be interested in collaborating with the traditional filmmaker, or how do you see that industry moving forward?
Yeah, definitely. I think even in traditional filmmaking, this is an important tool, even for conceptualizing. You can create something like this and then present it to the filmmaker and sit down and have a conversation and figure out, like, okay, how do we do this live action? How do we do this animated? How do, I think...
It might be interesting in live action too then.
Definitely. Super interested in live action. I think just, again, AI was just a tool to like kind of vision that, but then moving forward and just even crossing mediums. Live action is one idea, but then like, this could also be a video game, right? And so like, there's another aspect to animation in that forefront too, so yeah.
Curious, because you checked out all these shows, I believe, the shows at Uncommon, for specifically we did open call for an AI short film. So is there any piece or the artist that really resonate with what you're doing? Or is there, if it's not in this show, is there anybody that you really feel like they're really like sharing the same sort of agenda, or you would like to learn from them as an AI filmmaker? Just curious.
I think there's so many, like humans.
There's so many humans.
Yeah, obviously.
Inspiring.
Yes, super inspiring. And then when I first saw the potential of filmmaking, it was from, I'm trying to remember the name, but they did a rock, paper, scissors anime, all AI animated. Yeah, it just blew my mind. And so ever since then, I wanted to figure out like how, because at the time I was just doing Midjourney, just image generation. But when I saw they utilized Stable Diffusion and all these different aspects to create that anime, I'm trying to remember the name. I can't remember the name, but they're really good. Yeah, that sparked something.
So there's a lot of inspirational AI filmmaker. Yeah. But as just a filmmaker, artist, do you have anybody you look up to, or you would like to be like them someday?
Filmmaking wise, one of my favorite movies is Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I love that movie. So Edgar Wright is really dope. Obviously, you know, the great Star Wars is one of my favorite films too. I grew up on that. There's so many, Spike Lee, Spike Jones, Nolan. Yeah, there's a whole list.
Definitely. Yeah. Is there any like a one common ground that you feel specifically kind of like really attractive? It could be like story, or it could be visual, it could be technology, or it could be vision. You know, there can be so many.
Yeah, I think story first.
Story first.
Yeah, I love stories. So story, and then seeing how like the technical aspects is used to like tell that story is special.
So if that story is really important to you, have like specific missions or message or story that throughout all your pieces, or is it like always different case by case?
All my pieces are based off. It's a heightened, fantasized like retelling of my personal experiences. So like even Helmet City, it's just I grew up in Brooklyn. I love hip hop, and my favorite TV show as a kid is Power Rangers, and so I just combined all of it, and so it's kind of a love letter, but it's also tied to like different like thematical experiences I felt like growing up during that time, and so yeah.
That's really cool. You know, like I'm pretty sure a lot of people are hearing your story and they're curious about who is this job that you kind of explain a little bit about yourself as an artist. Is there anything you want to share in terms of where you're from, how's your background, you know, like that you want to really share who this is Ja, and then this is where I'm from?
Yeah, again, yeah, I'm from Brooklyn, New York, but my family is, they're Jamaican, so mom and dad are Jamaican. They came to New York, early 80s, late 70s, and yeah, born and raised in Brooklyn, moved to lived in Florida for a little bit, moved back because I didn't like it. And I really missed the energy of New York, and like, I think moving back was the best thing for me because I found art, or rediscovered art, I would say, in that sense, and then went to film school, and just after film school, just spent time just shooting music videos around New York City. That's how I met my partner. I shot a couple of her music videos, and then yeah, moved to LA and tried doing the same things there. And the pandemic came and lost everything in terms of like jobs, and so found Web3 and just kept going from there. So I think my story is just about always just pushing forward, pushing through, just using all those experiences and tying them into like larger stories that I can share with everyone, so they can get like a better understanding of me, but then like also have that fantastical like whimsy that we all like in stories.
That's really cool. I feel like I learned a little bit more about you today, and I'm curious your future. So like you have this vision, you have this story, and then you have this capability to make something like really attractive, like film, or like you combining with the music, using a lot of new technology to express your vision, right?
Yeah.
So in 3 years, where can we find you? Where do you see yourself in, or would you still think that you will use AI art, or is it something meaningful to you using certain type of tools and media?
Yeah, I think yes, I'm never opposed to not using like tools. So you know, if there's a reason for it. I'm also intentional, so if there's a reason to use it, then I will use it always. But in 3 years, my goal is for Helmet City. Like I grew up on Star Wars, Marvel Comics, and this is my Marvel Comics. You know, so in 3 years, I do see this expanding into on a larger level and growing into like I would want to do a full-length film on this. So I would see that by that time.
Maybe I'm gonna see your work at Netflix or
yeah,
major theater.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's really exciting. Before we wrap up this talk, is there anything you want to shout out or you want to talk about for your last work? For this soul experience, it can be anything. Or your filmmaking.
I'm just happy to be here. Yeah, no, this is my second time.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's my second time here this year, and it's been amazing. At this time, you know, I had this amazing opportunity to share art and have this conversation with everyone, and I'm really honored to be here. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Please, Ja here. AI Project is amazing. Thank you so much. Come to Seoul. Hope you enjoyed.